welcome to the podcast, episode 17. My name's Emma, but I'm sure you know that by now. As I always say, I'm not going to go over the whole rigmarole here. This is the first day I'm podcasting where it's proper lockdown. My husband is working from home, so he's probably listening thinking, what is she doing? But anyway, so there's a high chance that either he will come up the stairs while I'm doing this or the dog will, but I'm sure you won't mind. So I hope you're managing wherever you are. I hope you have enough groceries and you're managing to get some fresh air somehow and maybe enjoy a little bit of the spring. I have been watching the daffodils come up in the garden, and today when I was on my walk with Rufus, I spotted a little goldfinch in the tree and it's absolutely lovely. So I decided that I'd like to get a bird feeder next year so that I can watch them all out the window. So yes, I have a few things to show you today. First of all, I'm just going to dive right in and show you the progress on my Penguno. So I can't remember where I was at the last day. Maybe I had just finished this side. But now I'm on the opposite side. Added a little white panel in the side. And I hope to have this side finished in the next day or two. Obviously now I've got a bit of extra knitting time, so I've been working more at my knitting in the evenings. And so far this pattern's been really fun. Although it's mainly all garter stitch, there's a few interesting techniques like with the welts and with picking up these side panels that keep it quite interesting. So yeah, I'm knitting this in my limited edition yarns that I've collected over the last year and naturally dyed. So this is how it's looking at the moment, and hopefully it'll be finished before too long. So after I finish this side panel, I think you do the sleeves and shoulder. There's a little shoulder join you have to do, and then you pick up for the sleeves. So that'll be the next step, and it's knitted with some Whistlebear's Weavering Bell. This is Lilac Smudge, the colourway, which is 80% mohair, 20% Wensleydale, and this one is my Causeway yarn, which is just from a few miles from my house, and I think the colourway in this is Peony. I'm not sure, I don't label them when I keep them for myself. So that is the progress on this. I also have, this is my new Dorset base. I have my Cumbrian DK, and I have my Cheviot 4-ply. So they all work nicely together. So that is that. Last weekend, Jules Hill from So Sweet Violet made a coupon code, a code that enabled you to get one free pattern. So I have been watching another podcast called Elderflower Stitches, and she was knitting a snuggle down cowl. So I decided that with my free pattern I would knit a snuggle down cowl. So I'm just going to show you my yarn for that. So one of my lovely viewers, Shan, I did a yarn swap with her, and she had a skein of Whistlebear's Weavering Bell in Hopeful Heart colourway, which I was going to use for my Penguno, but I'm thinking I'm going to use it for the Snuggle Down cowl with my Cherry Blossom set. So we'll hold them together. I think it will create a nice effect. This is going to be in my next shop update. This is my natural sock. It's a mini skein set of 5. I think I showed this last time. I just skeined it up today. So I think I'll do it in like a little gradient and hold it with this, and I think it'll be really nice. So this is what the pattern looks like. So it's a nice simple cowl with a nice stitch pattern, and I'll probably keep it for myself, but I think it would be a really nice present also to give to someone, because I suspect it will be sort of fairly fast to knit. So I might get started on that soon. And And oh yeah, this is in my natural sock base. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really nice knit. And you could, if you wanted to, use DK instead or whatever. But yeah, so I'm excited to start that. Another thing I'd like to show you is, well, or like to talk about, is my sock mojo, which is all but disappeared. Probably for 6 months, I have, maybe even a year, I have not wanted to knit a sock. So I can't remember when I started this. This is the Riddari sock by Little Bobbins. And it's a really beautiful stitch pattern, little diamonds. And I started knitting this in my natural sock 4-ply. The colourway is Walled Garden. So it's basically pink with little bits of purple in it. Really like knitting with the colourway. It comes out really nice. You can kind of see it there. But I got these needles. I'm not sure if I said this before in another episode, but they're the Lica needles, and they're 2mm, and they're wooden. I normally knit on metal needles, normally, not always. And the gauge is just way off. I never do a gauge for socks because they always turn out fine, because I'm always using this yarn as well to knit them. I just feel like they're too big. So then basically I lost my mojo when I got this far in this sock. That must have been like a year ago, and I just left them down because I didn't want to rip it all out. But now I'm wondering, was it the needles? Because it's a different type of needle. They're a funny needle. They're kind of like bouncy. They're kind of bendy. Like none of my other wooden needles are like that. So I'm wondering if that's why my gauge is so weird. So big. So I might rip them out and cast on with metal needles. These are 2mm. Oh no, they're 2.25. That might be why they're too big. Definitely I need 2mm. I'm not sure if this is what it said in the pattern or why I'm using 2.25 actually, but yeah, it's just not working. So I lost my sock mojo after I did this, and I've lost it ever since. Apart from now, when I'm looking at these again, I'm thinking, actually when I was looking as well at Jules' Snuggle Down Cowl pattern, that she had a lovely pair of socks. I can't remember what they're called, but it looks like wee birds and like a wee kind of cross kind of pattern. And I was looking at it thinking, oh, those are beautiful. Like I could definitely knit those, and it kind of inspired me to think about knitting some socks again. So I think I'm going to do that. After I finish my Penguno and after I do my repairs. I'm going to knit these first, and then I'll probably knit Jules' socks, and then I also downloaded a couple of free patterns from Dawn Landex, who very generously is offering all her patterns for free in 2020. So I downloaded 2 patterns from her. So I hopefully, if I get on with my sock knitting mojo, I will knit those as well. So that's really all. I have no FOs. They're all whips. Oh, and these are all my colours from the Penguno. Isn't it nice? Well, there's more, but they're buried in the bottom. So yes, another thing I want to do with my bit of extra time that I have now is work on my Ravelry, because some of you may know that my Ravelry is absolutely terrible. I don't keep it up to date. Ravelry is the place where I go on, buy patterns and come off it again. So I'm going to spend a few afternoons perhaps working on my Ravelry, putting all my projects up there, making sure all my yarns are up to date on there, because I know it's probably really frustrating when I don't put my yarns in Ravelry. And also it's a nice way then to enable me to see what you're all making. So I don't know, how do you feel about Ravelry? Do you like Ravelry? Do you use it? Do you not use it? Why? Why not? I just find, I mean, I don't even write down what projects I'm working on really very much. I tried to for a while, and then I couldn't be bothered. Just kind of sucked the fun out of the whole thing. I just prefer actually knitting than recording all my projects. I had big ambitions a few months ago about like keeping everything really organised and like knowing exactly where I'm at and what projects and works in progress that I have on the go, but no, it's not happening. So yeah, basically I see something I like, I buy the pattern and I start knitting it. That's basically what I do. And sometimes I don't even use a pattern, I just like wing it and just like make stuff up. So on the last podcast I had a repair section. This week I have something to repair and I'm going to show it to you. I haven't repaired it yet, but I hope to maybe today, so I might have some footage in here of what I'm doing. So I'm just going to show you here what is wrong. This is my Riddari. It was the first jumper I knitted and I was very, very proud of it, so much so that I wore it every day for about 2 years. And now, well, it's kind of my fault and partly the dog's fault as well. Now, sadly, look what's happened. Big hole in the oxter. And I really, really did love this sweater. Like, I literally wore it every day for 2 years, I think. And loads of you will probably recognise it because I wore it in my stories every day. And again, look at that thread there. So that part was my fault. This part was not my fault. So I wore it with this. And there's also more here. For a long, long time until I started getting holes in the underarms. Because the dog got it one day and he kind of chewed it, which is really annoying. But of course I shouldn't have left it out for him, and yeah, so I've got quite a lot of repairs to do. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to repair this. I think this part might be trickier, obviously, than the underarm. You can just sew that up, like that's fine. But this here requires some colour work because some of the stitches are ripped out at the top. So, and I'm not even sure if I have these colours anymore. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that. I might just go in with a different colour and like see what it looks like, and that'll just be part of the garment's kind of life and history. I won't try and make it like perfect. So that is one repair that I have to do. I'm also going to insert some footage here of our bed linen, which sadly got ripped up by the dog this week also. I think it's because when it was drying, there was a sock stuck inside the duvet cover. And then I put it on the bed and I didn't realise, and of course the dog found the sock in below the duvet cover and he wanted to get it out because he likes chewing socks, which is very dangerous. Never leave your socks out for your dogs in case they swallow them. So anyway, he found the sock, he chewed the sock, he obviously clawed where the sock was, stuck between the duvet and the duvet cover, and he tried to get it out, and I got it out, and he made a big hole in the duvet cover in the process of trying to get the sock out. So it's quite a big hole, so I'm not exactly sure how I am going to repair it. I was thinking maybe just 2 patches of a jersey fabric and just visibly mend it. I think that could look really cool actually, and if it ever got any other worn down holes in it, I could just do the same thing in a different colour patch, and that'd be pretty cool, I think. I probably have to use the same fabric, like a jersey fabric, so that when it's washed it doesn't go all weird. Because it's, I think it's a cotton jersey. It's like stretchy. It's from Muji. I got it, I think, when I was a student actually. I really, really, really liked the duvet cover. I obviously splurged on it. So yes, I would like to keep the duvet cover and fix it. So if you have any ideas about that, I'd be really interested to know if you've ever had to fix a duvet cover, or what you think would look cool. So yeah, you can let me know in the comments. Also, I have 3 or 4 hats to repair that, again, dog damage. The delights of having a dog. He ate all the pom-poms off him and ripped them up, and they were all flying around the house. So I need to make some pom-poms. Thankfully he didn't rip the hats, because that would have been really annoying. So yes, note to self, leave woolen things in safe place so the dog can't get them. So I just wanted to really briefly show you a couple of things that is coming in the shop update tomorrow night. I showed you a lot in the last few podcasts of things that I had dyed that week. So that is all going in the shop tomorrow night, plus my sock sets, which I made this week. This week? No, last week, at the end of last week. I know, maybe this week, I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is a sock set that I have. Again, these are all naturally dyed if you didn't know. This is sock set number 1. So it's just like a light purple and then like a mustardy colour with wee bits of purple in. Sock set 1. There's 120 grams and it's on my natural sock, which is a nylon free non-superwash sock base spun just for my shop. So yeah, sock set 1. Sock set 2 is basically jasmine and peony, if you know my colours. And then I have these. I think I showed you these the last day, but they weren't, they didn't have the labels on, so aren't the labels really cute? So there's 80 meters or 20 grams in each one of these, and I think these are so nice. These would make a nice snuggle down cowl if you had a couple of other minis as well. And I have 3 more sock sets, which are my Cabin Fever sock sets. I have this one, and Cabin Fever is basically this colourway, which I made up recently, and I showed it in the last podcast without being in the packaging. So this is the Cabin Fever sock set in Wildflower, which is the main colour. Well, it's supposed to be, Wildflower is usually darker than this. This is more like oyster, but it's quite nice. So yeah, this is Wildflower Cabin Fever sock set. These will be in the shop tomorrow night. This, and then these 2. So these are just, this one is Cabin Fever sock set 1 and 2. They're quite similar, but this one's slightly brighter and pinker, and this one's slightly duskier and duller. And again, they have the Cabin Fever mini with them, so perfect for socks. I would recommend knitting these on a 2mm needle or below, just to have a tight gauge for your socks so that they wear well, because there's no nylon in these. So yeah, that's what I have coming up in the shop, as well as all my different mini skein collections. I have collections of like 6 and 5 mini skeins. I have loads of colours of natural sock 4-ply. I have lots of Cheviot 4-ply, my limited edition Cheviot. And what else? That's the most of it. So yeah, you could kit up yourself a colour crease shawl using, like, say for example, the spring mini set plus 100 gram skein, or the Rufus mini skein set and a 100-gram skein would knit a really nice colour grey shawl. So I think that might be it for today actually, a short and sweet episode. So I hope you're all keeping well and safe, and that you're making the most of the time if you are working from home or have extra time because your social activities are cancelled. Thanks to everyone who's working really hard in hospitals and pharmacies and care homes, as always, keeping the place running, all the farmers too. So yeah, so we'll say bye for today, and hopefully I will see you again next week. Bye. So I forgot to say there in the main podcast that orders are going out as normal, but please do expect delays for the next while. I may be taking a little break after this shop update for a little while to try my hand at some designing. So yeah, we will be packing, me and maybe my husband, if he decides he wants to, we'll be packing at the weekend so the orders go first thing on Monday. So yeah,